Hi, I'm Tom from Reds Radio Controlled. What I've got here for you today is the strut upgrade on the Freewing BAE Hawk 70mm. As you can see, we've got the wire legs on there. I'm going to go through this video very briefly, how to take them out and how to change them over to the upgraded suspension legs. So on the mains, you've got that wheel there. It's the same size wheel on the suspension legs, obviously, because you've got your wheel well, but the actual oleo itself is a lot nicer, a little bit better for grass, and it's got plenty of spring on there for you. So what you need to do to begin with is you need to take the 4 screws out of here, pull the metal plate off, and then get the retract out. See, taking the 4 screws out of here, lift the plate off like that, and then you can pull the retract unit up. Now don't put it too far, the wire is attached under here via some tape. You don't really want to be ripping this, otherwise you're going to have to put some more down. On the inside of the retract unit, you can see just there we've got a hole, and there'll be another one on the other side. That is your Allen key fixing points. So grab your set of Allen keys, and you're going to want to make sure that when you undo it you get exactly the right size, otherwise you'll end up rounding them off. So let me just grab my Allen keys. There we go. Pop it in. You'll hear a click, and then just unscrew it. Doesn't need to come out too far, as long as it's far enough out that it's no longer actually on the undercarriage itself. There we go. And the leg should just pull out. That's your wire leg. Your suspension leg has got a flat on the front and a round on the back. So when you pop it in, make sure that the flat obviously goes to the front edge, and then do the Allen key up. When you're doing it up, you should feel it pull the wheel like there into position. This means you can't get it the wrong way around. And then just make sure you tighten up the back edge, like so. Give it a quick tug and a twist, just to make sure it's not going to come out. So that's the undercarriage taken, put back in. It's a real simple job. Just make sure, give it a final tweak, because you don't want your undercarriage falling out. There we go. And then just sit the retract unit back in. Get your metal top cover. Place that over the top, and then put your 4 screws back in. So once you put your 4 screws back in, you've got to do exactly the same thing with the other side. Just obviously make sure that the point with the flat is at the front, and you do those grub screws up nice and tight. Now I'm going to show you how to do the nose leg. So with the nose wheel, the first thing you'll need to do is just get a scalpel blade underneath this front wheel cover, and then pull that off of there. Once that's off, then you can get into your wheel. Now, as you can see, you've got your steering nut, you've got your undercarriage, and you've also got your steering servo in there as well down here. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to undo the 4 screws as before. And once you've undone those 4 screws, you're then going to need to undo either your steering clevers here, and just unclip that off of this steering arm. And this will mean that this whole thing can pull out a little bit easier, so just get a pair of pliers in there just to do that. Plug this out of your blue box, and then take the whole unit out. Once you've taken the whole unit out, you won't need the whole retract unit again, as in the bag with all the bits and pieces you do have a whole unit with a steering arm already on it. The one bit you will need to change over is the plastic clevis bit there. So just take that off and put it onto the new bit. Put the steering arm on, the undercarriage obviously comes up, so just make sure that you put it underneath the steering arm. So over the top it will foul, so just make sure it is underneath there like that. Now the legs in, same process applies. Feed your wire just underneath the retract unit, so it goes out to the front. Put it back in the same slot that you took it out of on the blue box. Sit that down so it lines up nicely, and then pop your metal plate back on. With your metal plate back on, all you need to do is put your 4 screws back in, re-tighten up your steering arm, and then just re-trim your steering. Then just put a little bit of contact adhesive onto this cover, stick it on, and then you're good to go. So that's it for the Freewing 70mm Hawk upgraded suspension. All I've got to do is put this cover back on, and then we're ready to go. Give you a flight with the upgraded suspension, just see how you can see it work compared to the wire legs.
The tail weight, right? So now it's not tight, it's not so much, so that's